Hello, my name is Vanessa de Oliveira Andreotti. I'm a professor at UBC, also a Canada Research Chair in Race, Inequalities and Global Change. This is a research communication exercise related to the Social Innovation for Decolonial Futures research project. This project is funded by the Social Sciences and Humanities Research Council of Canada with the support of the Musa Ghez Foundation. In this video, I introduce the objectives and methodology of the project. The main research question of this project is what social imaginaries of global change are mobilized in approaches to social innovation. The educational objective is to create analysis and learning objects that can bridge and deepen conversations in ways that open up adjacent possibilities for collective decolonial futures. Building on Stuart Kauffman's idea of the adjacent possible, we use the term adjacent possibilities to refer to ways of thinking, acting, relating, sensing, knowing, and being that are viable but unintelligible or unimaginable within a dominant imaginary in a specific context. Our definition of social imaginary draws on the works of Taylor, Rizzi, and Steger, defining it as a core invisible naturalized frame of reference that determines what's intelligible, desirable, and imaginable. An imaginary structures intellectual and performative economies that delimit the range of possible questions that can be asked, the answers that can be provided, the authority of knowledge claims, and the validity of strategies and interventions. Social imaginaries also structure affective and relational economies that delimit the range of possible experiences of conviviality, self-worth, and belonging. The effective reproduction of a social imaginary is premised upon the delegitimization of other possibilities and the erasure of its own boundaries and necessary disavowals or sanctioned ignorances. Drawing on the work of Roland Poston and Patty Lader, we use the methodology of social cartography as an analytical device and a tool of translation precisely to explore what happens at the limits of different imaginaries. This methodology deploys visual devices used to map differences within and between intellectual communities and to help clarify and compare perspectives and underlying paradigms. They seek to open up meanings, uncover limits within cultural fields, and to highlight reactionary attempts to seal borders and prohibit translations. We use it to explore the contingencies, limits, intersections, tensions, nuances, convergences, and divergences between and within different social imaginaries of global change applied in social innovation initiatives. It's very important to note that the way we use social cartographies in this project is very specific. The cartographies are not used as normative devices to point to an ideal imaginary of global change. Since imaginaries are deeply tied to contextual factors related to visibility, intelligibility, affectability, history, and politics, the cartographies cannot be used to evaluate projects against a universal measure. Instead, the cartographies are used as educational tools to create new vocabularies, to deep analysis, to move dialogue beyond cognitive and emotional lockdowns, to change the terms of conversations, and to open communities up to their contextually defined adjacent possibilities. From my experience, these cartographies have a very interesting effect on our relationship with knowledge and the expectations we place upon knowledge production. When used educationally, they challenge our learned desires for consensus, coherence, neutrality, and quick resolutions. In imaginaries marked by the search for certainty and control, like the dominant imaginary you have been socialized into, they help build stamina for us to face the difficulties of deep learning processes and to sit with paradoxes, contradictions, complexity, uncertainty, and undecidability. They invite curiosity, reflexivity, openness, and the expansion of sensibilities as we engage with other contexts. They also shed light on risks for error and illusion in knowledge production and support people in making their own better informed decisions about pertinent knowledge in their own situational contexts. It is in the spirit of deepening analysis and expanding horizons of possibility without determining a single direction that we designed the cartographies in this project. Different versions of these cartographies, as well as analysis and case studies, will be presented in subsequent videos. We invite you to play with these cartographies and to create useful learning objects for your own context of scholarship and practice.